Good morning. Once again, welcome back to the vape rooms. Today is a sublime Sunday, or as I like to call it, easy like Sunday morning. And today does mean that you are graced the presence of your local vape connoisseur. Still not with it, but either way, that's the nickname, and I guess I'll stick to it. Either way. And today does also mean that not only are we open until 4 PM today, but our West Derby store is open as well. So we do have the resident stick, aka Groot, also aka Sean. He's in our West Derby store today to help you with any of your vaping needs on the northern side of Merseyside. I'm here on the southern side of Merseyside to do exactly the same. So hopefully we'll be seeing you later on today. But moving on, what have I got to talk about today? Well, there's always the weather. That's always a good start because I am the local weatherman to Garston, pretty much. Today, very humid. It was very humid last night as well. So, safe to say, last night I had my fan on. I was absolutely boiled. But this morning, still pretty humid. The sun is gleaming. It does have a tendency to disappear from time to time, so a bit cloudy. Judging by what I've seen this morning, there is, by the looks of things, a big rain cloud hanging over, like, the best way to explain it would be sort of towards coming from Spee into the northern sides of Liverpool. So it does look like it's going to approach over. So we've got a nice gleaming start to the morning, but I wouldn't be surprised if it disappears for at least a couple of hours. Maybe into like a little bit later on this afternoon, say around 2-3ish perhaps, it might come back. But all I can say, I'm hoping for a full day of sunshine. But anyway, moving on from the weather report, another thing to talk about is a brand new kit that we got in store. Now, everyone's been asking questions about it. I've personally been bombarded with spec questions, diagnostic questions, in general inquiries, and opinions, essentially. So, the new kit at the moment that's being basically bombarded with questions is the new Vandy Kylan M AIO kit. Now, spec of this is, I couldn't tell you exactly how tall it is. I'm not going to talk about dimensions because I actually haven't measured it. But Kylan M, it's a pretty small device considering the spec of it when I get into it a little bit later on. It is a pretty small device. I mean, it is pretty much the palm of my hand size. I mean, I do have big hands, but I mean, still, you know, pretty concealed. You can just see the bottom corner there. But a brilliant device. Now, what makes it brilliant? Well, there's a lot of things. Spec-wise, you're looking at a single 18650. It does power up to a maximum of 80 watts and can be, and the limit can be reached at that with the sub-ohm pod. It doesn't come with the coil immediately, but I do believe they will release one. But it does also come with a rebuildable pod as well. So, obviously, as everyone knows me, I'm using the rebuildable pod. And that's what it looks like on the inside. So I'll press the button there, and that's your screen. So you've got battery life, you've got wattage. I'm running it at 50 watts at the minute. 0.26 coil. It is as far as I'm aware, it's a fused Clapton of some sort. If I had to hazard a guess based on the inside, it looks like a tri-core. So a tri-core fused Clapton in this thing, and it's absolutely amazing. The flavour of it is ridiculous. At the minute, I am using Tenchi, so big shout out to Harry. I'm using Tenchi Rush, which is a grape and lime soda, and it is absolutely amazing, especially for a day like this. Very refreshing. But as you can see, quite a bit of performance. But what makes it so special? Well, it obviously does come with a sub-ohm pod. It does also come with the rebuildable pod, which is basically an all-in-one rebuildable pod. So, as an example, you look at mine. It uses a stainless steel twist wire, basically as a wicking method. It's an old premise, to say the least. I've seen it quite a few times on a bunch of older tanks. I've seen it on some newer ones that have come on quite recently. But it's essentially another wicking method. Now, the actual RBA pod still uses cotton, but you don't have to put it all the way down in the tank. See, as you can see there, I've just got mine gingerly resting here in this small section there, But yeah, as you can see, it's a postless build deck. So, but it's a kind of special postless deck. It's the kind of postless deck that you can not only use coils on, but you can also use mesh wire as well. So for those mesh lovers, perfect carry device for you. Opinions on it? Brilliant. If I had to sort of give it a rating of some sort, I'll use 2 versions. Now, I'll use the number scale because it's a bit easier to understand than my own personal way of doing it. Is a solid, do you know what? This is my own one, but I've only had it a short amount of time, so it's hard to exactly tell if it's going to stay like this. But, do you know what? First impressions was a solid 10 out of 10. Prolonged use, 9 out of 10. Because it was exactly what I was expecting. It was absolutely amazing. And I can't fault him in any way. But give it time, it'll probably reach that 10 out of 10, to be quite honest. This is by far probably one of the best investments I've made in vaping. Easily. It's easy. Easy to use, should I rephrase that. Easy to use. Concealable. So it's not like massive and no one's really going to look at you and go, really? Sort of thing. So it's an improvement. It's single 18650, so it's not a built-in battery, so it does keep costs down in the long run. But not only that, the battery life. Not only is it good from the start with whatever battery you put in it. I've got a Samsung 25R in this, and I'm getting a solid day and a half, which I have no qualms about, because to be quite honest, I just stick mine on overnight, so I will never really have battery issues. But in the sheer miracle that I do forget, it's going to last. But obviously it depends on the battery you put in it. But on a standardised battery, 25R Sony VTC4, something along those lines, you're going to get all day on. Well, you should do, unless you've got it like duct taped to your hand, glued to your mouth sort of thing. But either way, it should last you all day. At least it would last you pretty much all day. You'll probably get to like the last life of the battery around about night time. So you'll probably be sticking it on charge and going to bed anyway. So it's not too much of a problem. It's USB Type-C quick charge, if anyone wants the USB charger as well. So that's very handy. As I said, it's concealed, it's compact. Now you think to yourself, rebuildable, battery, 80 watts, you think, that is just like a standard single 18650 device. It's going to be not massive, but it could still be quite tall. No, it's very, very small. Keeps its size. And another thing, a lot of the pod systems nowadays always like to conceal the tanks. This is just a small thing with me, but I like to see how much I've got left before I hit dry. At least. Window for your juice. So much easy. So easy. So much better. It's so simply designed, but it works. And that's what I love about it. I'm a man of simplicity. The easier, the better. Because I don't want to have to be sitting around fiddling with settings. I just want to basically coil, cotton, juice, put it together, slot battery in, done. I think everyone wants to do that. I don't think people do want to be spending too much, probably about half an hour fiddling with TCR settings. I used to do that in the past. I don't know how I put up with it. I really don't. But either way, that is the Kyle now. A brilliant AIO system that's battery powered, 18650 to be exact, 80 watts. It's got a sub-ohm and a rebuildable pod. It can reach the maximum of that 80 watts for anyone who likes a really warm vape, but a lot of cloud, for the cloud chasers essentially. For the flavour chasers, should I rephrase that? Absolutely perfect. Flavour is spot on. I'm using a lot of fruit flavours for it. I haven't tried much desserts, but the ones that I have tried, exactly the same. Brilliant for flavour, in general. But that is the Kyle. Brilliant bit of kit, and probably one of the best investments I've made in vaping. So, if you're looking to get one, come down and see me today. I can go over pretty much everything in this video. Once again if I need to. But 10 out of 10, and it gets a double thumbs up from me. Or, as Green would like to say, the banana stick. Gets 2 banana stickers. It's brilliant. But, anyway, I'll leave that with you. Hopefully, you're all having an amazing day. as I always do, I wish it is filled with positivity, love, joy, warmth, sex, all that stuff. And hopefully I will see you soon. But if not a problem. We're open 7 days a week. And I'm pretty sure I'll catch you later on through that week. But until then, I'll see you all soon.